sync all the cameras and stuff.
I like to peek up
Yeah.
there when it's... Okay. So, if he looks at me like this, does it look like, are you looking at me? How does that look? To the camera?
I mean, I can see you through the camera.
Yeah, just look straight through the camera. I think that looks good because he's still coming at the camera.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really see you, but can you kind
But
of...
I can see you.
We're not going to be gazing into each other's eyes.
I won't be hanging over here.
Okay. So, okay. So good. So we can... what we'll do is we'll start with your introducing yourself, and we can really just make that a short statement.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Kirk Bingaman from grad school of religion. I've been at Fordham for X number of years.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a short one, and then if you want to say a few more things, we can do a second one. But it's up to you. However you feel like it
that's
comes
all
out.
I have for that first
Okay.
one. And then pause.
Yeah, we'll pause, and then I'll
Make
do
sure I
I'll
nod
do a
and
question.
I'm done.
No,
That's
no, I'll catch on.
okay.
So, and I'll just lead you with the next question each time.
Okay.
And so, I think that's it. Any questions?
And I have it pretty much down pat. If I forget anything, maybe
Yeah.
just
We can just go back to it.
re-ask me that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and we did that with Lisa. There were a couple things she said, I don't really like how that.
Okay.
Let's do that. So we just, I asked it again so it still feels like a natural conversation, and we use the good stuff.
That's, yeah.
Okay?
All right, sounds good.
So I think everything looked good?
I think so.
Okay, let me double check see his shirt right there where can you pull your shirt, it's like buckled a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah.
I mean, I can raise that.
No. No, you're good.
It was the jacket.
Yeah, you're good. You're good now.
Okay.
Okay, great. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Clap first
Oh.
and then.
I'm Dr. Kirk Bingaman. I teach pastoral. No, that's. Can you ask that again, Deanie?
Yeah. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Dr. Kirk Bingaman, Associate Professor of Pastoral Care and Counseling, teaching in my 8th year in the Graduate School of Religion.
Perfect. What got you interested in teaching?
What got me interested in the study and the teaching of pastoral care and counseling was my stint as a pastor, head of staff of a parish in New Jersey for 6 years. I recall coming out of seminary with a head full of theological knowledge, a lot of church history, knew Greek and Hebrew, but very limited knowledge of pastoral care with people who were in crisis, suffering. What to do in those moments, how to intervene effectively, and needed to know more about that as a pastoral caregiver.
Cool. What specialty areas of research interest you most?
My last book, titled Treating the New Anxiety, focuses on what I think...
Let's wait for that airplane. Sorry.
Yeah, and these airplanes and kids outside.
That's fine.
It's like, you ever see the U.S. Open?
Yeah.
Or the Mets games. You know, the pitchers...
Yeah.
waits for the plane to go over.
Yeah. I guess I should blame planes on my poor golf swing.
It works.
So, and just keep in mind, you're doing a good job already, that the listener doesn't know the question.
Okay.
So, but you're doing fine on
Okay.
that already. So, what specialty areas of research interest you and why?
One area that I've focused on in recent years is working with anxiety and anxious congregants and clients. I have a book titled Treating the New Anxiety. My focus has been on what I'd call a post 9/11 and even a post 2008 financial collapse anxiety. So if someone in my care, a congregant, a client wants to see me, my assumption is that they will be dealing with anxiety to one degree or another. More recently, I'm working on a new book project applying the findings from neuroscience to pastoral care and counseling, particularly the finding that you can change your brain through daily contemplative spiritual practice, centering prayer, mindfulness meditation, and how that can be used with anxious congregants and clients to calm the brain.
Cool. That's interesting. What has been your career path to where you are today?
I've been in parish ministry, pastored a church for 6 years as head of staff, was one of the directors of a pastoral counseling center in California, and have been teaching in academia for 8 years. The one thing I'd add, before doing all of that, I worked in business and industry for 5 years in the 1980s and experienced economic downturn in which there were massive layoffs in the company. And it was a pretty good job, but I was part of the layoff, and I was in the unemployment line for a year. Before going off in the direction of seminary and ministry. So I know what it's like to go to that unemployment center and feel anxious about tomorrow. Am I going to find work again? How am I going to pay the bills? That might be. I'll just stop there.
Yeah, I think that's good. One thing I wanted to make sure that you mentioned that I thought was it stuck with me is that something that brought you back or brought you into wanting to learn more was about seeing baby boomers coming back to the church, and that intrigued you. Where would that fit? How did that fit into your path?
When I was in the parish, I was noticing new, yeah, so let me start over with that. Which question is that, Deanie, or is that just off the cuff?
No, it's kind of, you said it when we talked about what got you interested in teaching originally in our original conversation.
Okay, uh-huh.
That's kind of where your career path, how it led.
When I was in the parish, my congregation was attracting new members, many of which were baby boomers with young children, and the interesting thing was that these boomers had not been in church in years until they had young children, and starting to think, how do I give them a spiritual foundation, religious grounding, when we don't have a faith community? So the one Washington Post writer put it this way: baby boomers are returning with arms full of kids, and I began to think in terms of Erik Erikson's theory of the life cycle, and how in middle adulthood we're engaged with the developmental task of generativity, and wanting to care for the next generation and after that. And that really sent me off to graduate school to look at that more closely. And I think it comes down to being very focused on people's lived experience in the present moment. Same as I said earlier with people, congregants, clients feeling anxious particularly today.
Cool, that's good. I like that. Now, I liked that part of the story. What would you say you're most proud about accomplishing in your career at this point?
I'm delighted that I can serve out my calling as an educator, pastor, clinical practitioner, and counselor in a Jesuit university in New York City. It's a wonderful blessing for me, and it's something that I'm grateful every day I come into this office.
That's good. The pauses feel awkward, I know, but I want to make sure we... So we're going to switch now a little bit to kind of the profession. And so what are the students who are doing this program, what are they doing before they enter in, and what draws them to a program like this?
It's really varied in terms of from when students come, what professions, backgrounds, a number are second career, even third career. Wanting to do something meaningful, wanting to help, and not feeling that that they have the requisite knowledge and skill to do so. Some are already in a parish setting. Some are clergy that want a very specialized knowledge of pastoral care and counseling. Others come out of teaching profession, perhaps a retired teacher. We have some younger students who were in the world of finance at Wall Street for 5-10 years, making a lot of money, but all of a sudden that they have this crisis of meaning, wanting to do something more meaningful, and wanting to be open to God's calling. And I think we offer a program here in pastoral care and counseling that meet those needs.
Good, that's good. What can students do professionally with these degrees once they complete?
Well, our one degree is 36 credit in pastoral care. It's offered fully online. And students can go back into the parish setting with a more specialized knowledge of pastoral care, skill set for intervening more effectively with congregants, clients, working in a hospital as a chaplain, as a school counselor.